Hey guys, Simon here bringing you more Magic the Gathering spoilers and reviews. Of course, while I was away, Wizards went and spoiled a bunch of amazing cards. Awesome timing as always on my part, but I'm back now, and it's finally time to attempt to catch up to the rest of the pack. In this video, I'm gonna stick to some of the most exciting announcements from the previous week, the unveiling of one of Shadow over Innistrad's premier Planeswalkers. So with SOI just around the corner, we got the full Monty when it comes to Planeswalkers included in this set. Assuming there aren't any surprise secret Planeswalkers still in hiding, we're left with 4 awesome new cards. 4 Planeswalkers. Just think about it. It's the most Planeswalkers in a set since Wizards switched to their 2-set blocks. In Battle for Zendikar we got 3, and more recently, in Oath of the Gatewatch we got a measly 2. So 4 in SOI is a huge step up. Let's look at all these cards separately, and see what we can expect from our Planeswalkers in Shadows over Innistrad. In this video, let's examine Sorin, Grim Nemesis, the vampiric lord of Innistrad. For 4 generic and Orzhov colors, Sorin Grim Nemesis comes into play with 6 loyalty counters. His +1 reveals the top card of your library and you put that card into your hand. Each opponent loses life equal to its converted mana cost. His minus ability is -X. Sorin Grim Nemesis deals X damage to target creature or planeswalker. You gain X life. Sorin's new ultimate is -9. Put a number of 1/1 black vampire knight creature tokens with lifelink onto the battlefield equal to the highest life total among all players. So, running down his abilities, Sorin Grim Nemesis is a very strong planeswalker. His +1, the obvious bread and butter, gives you 2 advantages, one being card advantage, drawing cards is always great, but on top of that, you deal damage to the opponent. In terms of a +1 ability, Sorin Grim Nemesis just takes the cake, and if you find yourself in a multiplayer format, man, he'll just wreck everyone. I rarely think this, but I believe you can win off the back of his +1 ability alone. It's that big of a threat. With this card's +1 being as good as it is, surely its minus is a little lacking, right? Well, not really. It fills a crucial slot in a Planeswalker's repertoire: protection. A Planeswalker, no matter how powerful its abilities, is useless if it's dead or constantly threatened. Thus, having a built-in way to protect itself from your opponent's creatures is the bare minimum needed to be effective in the long run, and Sorin Grim Nemesis protects himself very well. Removing X loyalty counters allows you to deal with threats, keeping your planeswalker alive while dealing the exact damage needed. An added bonus being that you can use this ability to snipe off your opponent's planeswalkers. This alone would stand as great removal, but Sorin's just a value machine, seeing that you'll also gain life equal to the damage that he deals. Kill a creature or planeswalker, protect your Sorin, and gain life? What's not to love? And finally, we get to his ultimate, which is actually my least favorite of Sorin Grim Nemesis' abilities. Of course it's awesome, you'll fill your board with lifelink vampires and probably win the game, but that can be said about a lot of Planeswalkers' ultimates. 9 loyalty counters isn't insane for Sorin Grim Nemesis to reach, so in theory, you can pull this off, but more than likely, you'll be spending those counters to remove threats so you can keep his +1 train going. That's what it comes down to. Would I rather pull off his ultimate, or just continue trading counters to keep this card draw going? Picking off creatures and planeswalkers while gaining life, drawing cards, and dealing damage to your opponent is just too much of a sacrifice for a bunch of 1/1 lifelinks, even if it's 30 plus of them. Like I said, you'll probably win from that position, but what if your opponent's running like Barrage of Boulders, Shockmaw Dragon, or God forbid if they reprint Blasphemous Act? In that scenario, you just killed off your Sorin for the most amazing clear of your opponent's life. It's not bad, just not as safe as his first 2 abilities. Of course, abilities alone don't make a planeswalker great. Other factors come into play, such as mana cost. Sorin Grim Nemesis costs 6 mana, with 1 being white and another being black, making him a pretty pricey planeswalker. Sorin hasn't cost this much since his first appearance in MTG with his original Sorin Markov Planeswalker card, also seeing a price of 6 mana with triple black. Since then, Sorin Lord of Innistrad and Solemn Visitor both had a cost of 4, with his now iconic Orzhov pairing. Grim Nemesis seems to have merged all its past printings, taking the 6 cost and adding the white and black price. With this high cost, don't expect to see Sorin Grim Nemesis in every deck out there. With his abilities, this card will serve great in a slower mid-range or control deck, clearing your opponent's stuff while keeping you ahead in life and card advantage. Just don't expect to see it in aggro. I'm sure it'll find its way into some standard decks, as well as being an all-star in any multiplayer format. As for limited, Sorin Grim Nemesis proves to be a huge bomb that can control the late game while also keeping itself alive. The advantages of this card far outweigh its higher than usual acceptable cost, and it's one of my favorite cards to be revealed from SOI thus far. Moving away from Sorin Grim Nemesis' abilities and viability, let's just look at its art for a moment. I have to say, it's not the greatest depiction of Sorin, in my opinion anyway. I mean, come on, no trench coat, really? Did he paint it blue and give it a Jace? In all seriousness though, the art isn't bad. He still looks as foreboding as ever, but it just could have been better. Anyway guys, those are my thoughts on Sorin Grim Nemesis. I want to know what you guys think of Sorin's latest card. Go ahead and leave it in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a like and subbing to the channel. It goes a long way in supporting future content. You can also support this channel by becoming a patron on Patreon and finding me on other social media outlets. Find links to those in the description below. As always guys, thank you all so much for watching and I'll see you next time.